Good evening. I'd like to open the planning board meeting of Tuesday, September 13th, 2016 at approximately 7:05 p.m. Present this evening is Marshall Wagner, Vice Chairman, Pam Humphrey, Clerk to the Board, Sean Guerin, Member, Mark Marziotti, Chairman, and Don Johnson, Town Planner. So we will get started on our agenda. Item A, approval of meeting minutes, July 27th, 2016, executive session, and August 24th, 2016. I'm looking for a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve as written.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve all three, or you want to do them separately, or what's the pleasure?
You're the chair.
We can do all three.
Well, we can do all three, but is your motion for all three?
It's two, though.
Two, well, the executive session, does that need to be?
It's separate from, those minutes were already approved except for the executive session. We waited for the workshop to do that. The workshop we had the last meeting.
Okay, July 27th, was that an executive session or was that a planning board meeting?
It was a meeting, but that's, the minutes that are before you are just for the executive session portion.
Okay. Okay, so I guess we have we have to approve the minutes of July 27th and August 24th. And I have a motion, and it sounds like it's to approve those two dates of minutes.
Those two dates as written.
Okay.
Okay, I make a motion to...
I'm looking for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry, second, I'm sorry.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you. So moving on to item B, minor engineering change review / approval, Pierpont Estates.
We reviewed that with the town engineer, it's the planning board's consulting engineer, and he recommended, there were two things that were asked to be waived for construction standards. One was the width of the roadway at the bridge. Another one was the change of the grade. He recommended approval of the change of the grade, but not the change of the bridge. He gave reasons in the letter that I have a copy of if you'd like it.
Okay, is that in here?
It was passed out a couple weeks ago. I have a copy right here now.
Okay. Right, all right. So I do remember that, that one was okay and the other I think what it ended up happening is we needed to get back in touch with the applicant and ask them to have it redrawn based on our consulting town engineer's recommendations.
I don't think we really took a vote to that effect, but that would take care of it. They could bring it in.
Okay.
The amendment.
I thought that's what we had discussed last time, because I do remember you indicating that a consulting town engineer had made some recommendations. So the information that was shared, we certainly, I think as a board, should comply to. So now it's just a matter of getting the applicant to make a change to the plans so that they can move forward.
Right.
Okay. So if the board is in agreement with that, then I guess we will ask the town planner to have that happen.
Do you want to take a vote on it? To make the one change, not the other change? So I have something to take to the applicant that he can work from.
Okay.
Affirmative action from the board, in other words, so that I can take it to the applicant, he can come in with that correction and leave that for our files.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's two pieces.
You should speak into the microphone over here.
Yeah.
This one's off center, that's.
Okay. Okay, so is he saying that one? I don't know if this
He agrees with the grade change, he doesn't agree with the
Okay.
motion to narrow the right-of-way at the bridge.
Okay.
I shouldn't say the right-of-way, that's the street pavement and the sidewalk area.
Okay, so I guess what we're looking for is a motion to support the findings of our consulting town engineer as it relates to minor engineering change review approval for Pierpont Estates.
So
And-
moved.
Okay, and so one of the changes, the graded changes will not change as per consulting town engineer, and the width of the roadway by the bridge will need to be altered and redrawn.
It's just the opposite, really. It's the opposite of that, because the roadway width isn't, the consultant didn't recommend that that be changed. But what he did recommend was supporting the grade change in the roadway itself. The change in the grade of the roadway.
Okay, so he's recommending that we change the grade of the roadway,
As
but the
proposed.
width by the bridge is okay.
Width by the bridge should stay.
Don't, yeah.
Don't make that change that they requested.
Grade change is okay, but don't change the width of the bridge.
Okay, I thought that's what I said, but, sure. All right, is that all written in that document, Don?
It's all there, yes.
Okay, so, as long as we make a motion based on the,
That paper.
based on the
And as, yeah.
the written recommendations consulting town engineer, then I think we'll be all set, which I think is what you did initially.
Right.
So we have a motion to support the document from consulting town engineer regarding Pierpont Estates changes to the, that site. And I'm looking for a second.
I'll second that.
And we have a second. So all those in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Unanimous. Okay. So you good?
I'm good.
All right. Okay, moving on to C, variance waiver proposal, lot line changes, Tobin Farm Estates, Stebbins Drive. Welcome. Do we have a sign-in log,
I think
Don?
you can just lay it down right on the table. Fred, you need that turned around? Just
Okay. There was a tripod here.
There's one behind Fred.
thank you.
Yeah, you can just hold it if you don't mind, if you want to be by the map.
All right, so the idea is to take this existing 5.5 roughly acre
Okay.
parcel. adding-
Just for the record, who are you?
I'm Peter from Burton Engineering.
Okay,
Add a 50-foot right-of-way with a 120-foot diameter cul-de-sac for the right-of-way. and make it into 2 lots with plenty of lot area and adequate frontage for both. The only thing we're asking for is a construction waiver to make the pavement 20 feet and to do a hammerhead turnaround rather than a full paved cul-de-sac.
Okay. So I guess I understand the request for the waiver for the front of the driveway, but what's the rationale behind the end of the cul-de-sac?
Just to save pavement and save money. Still gives adequate space for emergency vehicle turnaround, fire trucks.
Okay,
So it'll basically just be a shared driveway.
okay. Has that been approved by fire?
Not yet, no.
My husband looked into that, and I believe they said it was 10, I think it's like 10 feet for that. He's
Mhm.
the lieutenant at the fire station, you talked to the chief.
Yeah,
I believe
Plenty
it
of room.
was,
There's
I believe
plenty
it was
of room for
okayed.
the fire apparatus to go up and down.
okay.
What they're asking
Oh,
for
for
is
what?
over what the chief stated was needed. Do we need a letter for that?
I would think that we would need his sign off, that's all. I mean, we don't have the ability to make a change like that. I mean, it's certainly not an issue for me as long as the chief doesn't have an issue, because that's really the reason for, the distances in the cul-de-sac, so.
Actually, is it 10? How big is it on 10?
Well, the pavement's 20 foot wide, but I think more of the turning.
Yeah, I think
it's
you
more
were
the
saying it
turning
only has
around
to be
than-
10 feet wide,
Yep.
and they're making it 20, so it's plenty of room.
Okay.
I have a question, just I'm very confused about this, and I apologize, but when this first started, one of the things we were supposed to be considering was the frontage.
He just needs
Okay, but
frontage.
then, when you first brought it to us, you were going to be giving your neighbor 5 feet in the back and taking 5 feet from the front, and this is what's confusing me, is I'm just
No,
not
we're
sure where
doing
we
that.
are now.
This is what we want to
This,
do.
yeah, so you're not, that's
Okay.
completely off
No.
that's off
What
the
we wanna
boards,
do.
okay. All right, because there were so many layers of this when you first brought it to us, that
Right,
it's,
but now this is what we want to do.
so this is all you're going to do?
That's right.
This is it?
Okay.
So now you have the adequate frontage?
Yes.
Yeah, almost 500 feet for this lot, 200 feet. Zoning requires 100, I believe.
And is there also going to be a deed restriction for down the road when, if and when we accept Tobin Farms as town roads? That won't be accepted
more lots, yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
be a private drive.
Private drive.
Right.
So how does that affect the future going forward
Just won't
for
allow-
other generations when,
It just won't allow these lots to be broken up any further.
They have to be subdivided again. I don't think it would really go any further.
Well, that's
Considering
it.
what this property's
That's-
like, it's
all we
kind
want
of like a
is two
peninsula.
lots.
Drops off on either side into water.
But wasn't this originally 3 lots?
It was 3 lots, but now we want to make it 2 lots, and
And then it'll never change
that
again?
will never change again.
If that ever were to change, somebody, the future owner or whatever it may be, would have to come back in anyway, but I
Mhm.
don't, it's not too likely based on what the characteristics of the land are, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's only a few spots, I think, that you can place a home.
2 or 3 spots, yeah.
Well, anything's possible, but it really doesn't matter. I mean, if this is the way they want to utilize their land, it's fine.
Right.
And if someone else wants to change it later on, or they want to change it later on, they're certainly entitled to do that. But I guess the limitation that is created by us allowing the variance on the front driveway, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that it has to always remain a private drive?
that was my question.
That would be the deed restriction.
Yeah, I'm asking, not telling, I don't. yeah.
Oh, they would be,
That's
they would
what
be
I was
responsible,
That's their
they would be
proposal.
responsible for any repairs,
They're
any
responsible
snow
for, yes,
plowing.
that's right.
Okay.
And in essence, it would be a.
So it's a
basically
driveway,
big
not a
drive-
road, correct?
In essence, it would be a
It's a
big driveway.
driveway.
Basically a shared
It's
driveway.
a shared driveway.
We was waiving the access construction standard because of the consideration of what's out there. It's not likely to go anywhere anyway, anytime in the future. It's surrounded by houses and water.
Mhm. Yeah, the only thing that I get concerned about, Don, is that, you know, after we leave, you know, and later on this comes up and it's, oh, we want to make it a public, you know, we want the town to take it over so that it can be plowed, you know, all of this sort of stuff, you know, this is a meeting
Board of the
years
Registry,
later.
it's not going anywhere.
Okay, that's all I'm trying to confirm, that's all. And,
It's
I mean,
before.
I certainly don't have any issue with this. I know that the applicant has done what we asked them to do, and that was to, you know, redraw and decide what they wanted to do and come back in, and they've certainly done that. They've taken the advice of town council, and I think that's fantastic. I just want to make sure that our job here is to make sure that it doesn't come back later on and say, well, why was this done, or how was that done, and everybody's
Be
name
very,
is on
very
it. So,
specifically spelled out.
okay, good.
Whose responsibilities it is to maintain it and so forth. It's all spelled out.
And we have the ability to, as a board, to modify or allow a variance for the taking.
Don't think of variance, think of waiver.
Okay.
Because the planning board does have the ability to waive a construction standard based on the number of type of buildings it serves, for example. Maybe you wouldn't want to do this if you had 14 houses out there, but it seems you only have one or two, depending where you locate them.
Okay. All right, great.
And
Do
maybe
we have any more?
environmental overkill too, to put a full cul-de-sac in there with drainage and everything,
Mhm.
detention basins and
And what is your thought process on the hammerhead relative to a standard cul-de-sac?
sometimes it's preferable. Sometimes the public works departments don't like to plow a full cul-de-sac. Sometimes they just prefer a hammerhead because all they do is pull in, back out.
Okay.
Pull in, back out, and go beyond their way.
Mm-hmm. And that's
And
what,
it wouldn't be a public street anyway.
right, right. And Peter, that's what's reflected on the drawing is the hammerhead?
Yep.
Okay, all right.
There should be plenty of turning radius and
Okay.
length for fire trucks, even tractor trailers,
Mhm.
but
And Don, in your understanding, it does not, we do not need a note or a letter from the fire chief. I understand that they talk to him through somebody or whatever, and that's
If
great,
you feel,
but,
if for a level of comfort, it would be preferable, I guess, from the board's perspective.
Hey, my husband can get one tonight. I mean, he's down there.
so, we certainly can, you know, approve this contingent upon getting a letter from the chief if everybody's comfortable with that.
I think you have to set a hearing on this because you're altering your right-of-way, providing access with the subdivision control law.
Set a public hearing for it?
I think you have to. I was hoping to hear from town council on that one, but I didn't get to go on the back.
So I'm confused now.
So we can't make any moves until there's a public hearing, is that what you're saying?
If it's a private, we keep on saying it's a private road, it's a private residence, why would we need to have a public hearing on it? I'm sorry, I'm so
Question.
confused. I'm
We're
just,
establishing your right-of-way, we just want everything to go.
Wait, how are you okay, yeah, that one confused me.
It's really within your purview to vote on it, but
I mean, we have to get a hold of town council for that.
Yeah, you said that you had asked him, you had sent a note to town council and he didn't reply?
hasn't gotten back to me. I was hoping he'd get back to me yesterday or today, but he didn't.
Well, it could still be approved contingent upon that? I mean, those two items?
You should know.
You have the ability to get in touch with him by phone now?
I have a cell phone.
Would you mind making a phone call, please?
Once again, as Sean was asking, could we take a vote on it contingent upon these two things? Because
We sure can.
twice, and
The issue is, you know, that the applicant has done what we had asked them to do, and now this sort of stuff comes up, and I guess I'm surprised, quite frankly. Peter, do you understand? Do you know what the ruling is on that?
I'm not sure. It's gonna be a private drive. I don't know why. That, but.
Well, you're not really, I mean, you are reestablishing a right-of-way by making it a private drive to give them the frontage, even though it's private. Again, I think I'd rather hear from town council on that.
Mailbox is full, can I accept any messages at this time?
That's his cell phone, not his office?
Your cell phone.
Okay. Okay, then I guess at this point,
Can I ask a question?
sure, come on up and just sign in if you don't, or could you pass the paper to her and she can just give her the microphone so everybody can hear her?
I just wanted to know why we would need to have a hearing for people to come in if it's private land.
Yeah, that's the question we're asking. We really don't know.
Because if it, you know what I mean, if it's a private driveway,
Mhm.
the street, obviously, they
Yeah.
need to plow, but if it's their own driveway, it's just like my driveway, you know, where I live, my
Right.
street, you know what I mean, they plow.
Right,
driveway.
but if there's a house on the lot and there's a fire, and the fire truck can't get down there, or whatever it might be, whatever this reason is that this needs to happen, you know, it sounds like this was done incorrectly before, and I just don't want to do that to you again.
No, I understand.
And that's the only reason. I don't want to hold anything up. We don't want to hold anything up as a board. We just want to do it right. You guys did your due diligence, you did what you needed to do. I don't know the answer to the question, I'm being honest with you, I just don't, I don't know. The town planner doesn't know, our town council didn't, I guess, reply to an email or whatever it was, so rather than be hasty and give you the wrong information, to have you come back here to redo it again, because I know he's not inexpensive to have it redone, so let's just do it right the first time, is my opinion. And I think you'll be happy. I don't have a problem opening to the board and suggesting that we approve this based on those contingencies, having a letter from either the fire chief, if that's a point of contention, and/or whether this has to be open to a public hearing. And that way, if we get information that it does not have to be a public hearing, which it sounds like it probably doesn't, then you're free and clear and you're ready and you can go. All right?
I have a sample of what was approved in another town I worked in. A similar situation.
Do you have it here?
I'm reading it right here.
And can you speak into the microphone, Don, and what does it say?
There was a subdivision for 2 lots that was approved, subject to the condition that it remained a private way and it was never to be accepted as a public way, and there was a covenant to that effect recorded along with the deed.
Was a public hearing required?
There was a public hearing held,
There was.
yes.
And that's really the question, right?
I just don't
Whether it
want
was
them-
required or not, we don't know, but a
I just
public
don't want
hearing
them to
was
have-
held.
I think we should, I just don't want them to have to come back again.
I agree. Okay. Well, as chairman, that's going to be my recommendation at this point, since we can't get in touch with town council, that we take a vote based on based on the contingency that that town council weighs in as to whether there should be a public hearing or not. And I think that it's going to be fine, but I'm not an attorney, and I don't know the answer to the question, so.
Do we have an exact address for that yet, or lots, I should say?
I could check with the assessor's office, I'm not sure if we do. That would be Stebbins Drive, right?
Yeah, it's Stebbins Drive.
Do you know what lot it is? Do you know the,
A tax map and parcel numbers. Tax map 107. And then parcels 35, 36, 37, 38. I'm assuming some of those are butters.
Or was that the original lots?
it must be.
It must be the original lots.
You looking for a motion?
Yeah, and in order to have the motion set properly, I think we need, do you have a drawing of this, Don? Is there one there? So that we can reference the correct property, correct owner, correct address, correct tax map?
That's the drawing.
Yeah, one right here. 2 full size and 5 small ones.
Okay, small ones.
Are those, there are 5 of them there? Can you pass them around, Sean, please?
Sorry. Yeah, we would have to go off the map reference.
Yeah, it's okay, but you guys remember the last set of drawings that we reviewed had names of people on here that others didn't know were on there. So I think it's important that we actually see this and make sure it's done properly, right? Okay. Okay, and Don, you're comfortable with without having a fire chief's signature with the modification to the, not modification, but the style of cul-de-sac there is in this?
There's 20 feet, I'm sorry, if it's 20 feet, that should certainly be adequate.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
but wouldn't it be better just to have it on file? Because you said it wouldn't be a problem,
I can get a
correct?
quick
It was
letter
10
from him, that
feet.
would,
The chief said 10 feet would be sufficient, and we're doing 20 feet.
So just contingent upon that letter from the chief, I think we'd be all set.
yeah, so if he's already seen it and approved it, or it's not an issue, then there's gonna be no harm in putting it in there. So, essentially, we would be entertaining a motion to approve this, this lot contingent upon those 2 pieces. And whoever's comfortable making that, certainly speak up.
Second, please.
Mhm.
Through the chair,
Hmm.
the record of owners, do you want that? placed
Yeah,
also?
really, all you need to do is, it says owned by Wendy Petrinos, located at Stebbins Drive, Dudley, Mass. I think that's really all we need, yeah.
Okay.
And then there is right, is there a tax map here? Yeah.
Yeah,
tax.
tax 107.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be great.
I'd like to make a motion on the one blank, I'm sorry.
Lot of land.
On the waiver, to waive the, I can't, I'm sorry. Hold on one second. It's all in my head here. Reestablish an easement or right-of-way. Waive the construction standard for the property located on Stebbins Drive, owned by Wendy Petrinos. Tax map 107, parcel 35, 36, 37, 38.
Okay, we have a motion to,
I have to add the contingencies also, correct?
yeah, well, and this is not a final approval of the lot, it's just for the waiver. So I don't know that you need that for the waiver, but for the final approval of the lot.
Okay.
Because we can waive, we can vote on waivers, but ultimately, this whole parcel needs to pass, but that's where the contingencies would be, okay? So we have a motion for the waiver of the change of width in the private drive for the lot of land.
Second that motion.
And we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. So now we're entertaining a motion to approve the lot of land with the two contingencies that we've identified.
I'd like to make a motion for the lot of land that, at map 107, parcels 35, 36, 37, 38, located on Stebbins Drive for Wendy Petrinos, with the contingency of approval for a public meeting and letter from Public Service Fire Chief for adequate space in case of emergencies.
For the modification of the
Modification.
cul-de-sac, okay. Okay, we have a motion to approve the lot of land with two contingencies.
It would be subject to the condition that it remain a public drive, private drive.
Sorry?
It will be subject to the condition that it remain a private drive and a deed restriction be recorded to that effect.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. That needs to be stated in the motion?
I believe so.
Or is that essentially what it is we're voting on? But that's fine, it's probably
I would.
best to,
I would.
okay.
So I can add contingency also on a deed restriction that it will stay a private drive,
Mhm.
never to be taken over by municipal.
Okay. And we have a motion,
Second.
and we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. So, what Mr. Johnson will do is get with town council to find out if a public hearing needs to happen, which doesn't sound like it does, but I hope you understand why we kind of did what we needed to do. We want to make sure we do it the right way. And also, I don't know if Don or if it's your responsibility or Peter's responsibility to get the letter from Fire Chief?
I can get the letter from the fire chief.
Okay.
That's 'cause the lieutenant is down
Okay.
there now.
Perfect, I know that. Thank you.
Want to be sure we do it right and then you don't have to come back again.
Yep,
No, I understand that.
yep. Okay, great. So we'll get that, we'll get those two pieces taken care of. And Don, do you have a way to get in touch with the applicant to let them know when the contingencies are set? Okay,
Yes, I do.
or released? Great. Okay. Do you guys have any other questions for us?
No, thank you very much.
Sorry, it was painful.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Okay, moving on to item D, A&R, 37 and 38 Roberts Road, and it says pending. Don, could you give us an update on that, or just a,
The reason it's pending
Summary.
is because there were taxes due, but they've been paid, so we got the application today, I have it right here.
okay? Aye, thank you.
Share this with Pam.
So what are they trying to do here? What do they want to do?
So this is an A and R. Don's going to give us, Don, you want to just give us a real quick summary? So 37 and
Just the light-
38 Roberts Road.
Just a line swap.
Okay.
These diagrams show what exactly you're doing.
Oh, great. You been coloring?
Are there two of them, or are they they look
The
different?
old-fashioned way of coloring, but
Yeah.
I think are there two of
That
them?
is now a proposed.
Oh, now it's
Just one.
proposed, okay. Put on my shoulder, John.
Oh, stuff to get real chummy.
All right, so this is now,
So this is just a smaller version of this? Or-
yes, correct.
Okay,
Yep.
all right.
And then these are the existing lot lines?
So basically,
These are
just
the proposed lot
cutting
lines.
out that,
And when you're doing this, you just need to make sure that any road frontage doesn't get
it's not
modified.
affected at all.
No. Yeah, see, because this is the road, so there's no change over there.
so it'll be all
It's
interior.
just all
lot.
internal, interior.
And you're just cutting out that one part of the
Oh,
Pentagon,
Roberts,
correct?
I wouldn't click where this is, but now I remember where Roberts Road is, in West Dudley.
Mm,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Mace, isn't it?
Yeah, Pace.
No,
Oh, is it
It
Mace?
says MAC.
Yeah,
right
it's
there.
Mace.
Yeah.
I deliver mail.
Got me
so-
on that one.
Okay, so
Didn't
can
question it.
you tell us what the request is, and,
The request is to swap land from one lot to another.
okay, swapping.
In other words, that the blue area right now,
Yeah,
the way it exists, the blue area to your right is the way it will be after the lot lines are adjusted.
okay. And like you say, there's no frontage on a line, on a road. That
Doesn't
will
change
be
it. There isn't
affected.
really anyway, it doesn't really change now,
Okay.
doesn't change at all.
It's the same property we approved a while back for warehousing, isn't it?
I think it is.
Do you know why this is being done, Don?
Something that the state wants to do.
Oh, okay.
The state
The
wants to
state
do
wants
The
it?
estate,
Oh, the
Estate.
Estate,
the estate, yes.
Okay.
okay. All right.
They want to combine that, I think there's a farm or apple orchard or something over there that they want to combine
Right.
with the other property, they want to
Right.
combine them into
I
one.
believe that.
Isn't there a school on here? Or is that further up?
It's further
I
up.
believe that's further up. The property you're talking,
It's the same owner.
the owner owns that property,
Yeah.
correct? Yeah.
I don't have any issue.
Recommendation, Don?
I don't see any problem.
No problem, okay.
It's straightforward, it's simple Form A before.
But this is just pending, so we don't, oh, no, you said that they had paid the taxes, so we can,
So we're all set.
okay, okay.
So you have check in hand,
Checking the
check in the drawer. Okay,
drawer, go in tomorrow.
okay.
But you, I know we talked about it, Dawn, and you were expecting them to be paid. You confirmed that they're paid? And if you didn't, we're gonna make this approval contingent upon them being paid.
They are paid.
Okay,
Every receipt.
Perfect.
Too.
great.
Sorry?
Every receipt too.
Oh.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay.
We're all set.
You're gonna find that we just don't like to do things twice. And I know you probably don't
No, I
either.
don't want.
You don't
Wendy-
either,
I
right?
don't want you to have to do it twice either, that's why I wanted to make sure. She's all set.
Okay, good. All right, so if there are no further questions, I'm entertaining a motion for the A&R Lot 3738 Roberts Road. And when you make the motion, please make sure you list the applicant's name, address, tax map.
Mark.
Capignon.
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 Capion. Okay. And we don't have an exact street address, correct? Just the P.O. box?
Yeah, it's 37 and 38 Roberts Road.
Okay.
I
I'm looking
guess.
off of the.
Yeah,
the
yeah, I see what
form.
you're saying, but that's Para's PO.
Okay. Well, I'd like to make a motion for the A and R at 3738 Roberts Road. Taxes were paid. And we need a lot number. Worcester District Registry of Deeds, Book 51373, page 372. The owner of the property is Mark Capion. And this is for Mace, is it Mace Industries or
Polymers.
Mace Polymers?
Okay, we have a motion to approve the A&R lots at 37 and 38 Roberts Road,
I'll second the motion.
and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, unanimous. Hey, Don, is this, do these normally, is a Form H filled out for A&R lots?
Form H?
Yeah.
I don't remember what the Form H is offhand.
Form H, and it just shows that if there are any waivers for the drawing, or is a checklist, essentially.
Essentially, an A and R plan only shows a subdivision or it doesn't. It's kind of,
Okay.
maybe there's the way you can deal with that, but you did actually request 2 waivers, but I don't think it's necessarily for part of the A and R submission. You requested a waiver on the scale so that you can fit it all in one
Oh.
sheet,
This is what I was looking for.
That's what I was trying to read off of. I'm sorry.
and there was something else too.
Yeah, right here. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, we need to, before we make a motion, we need to approve these waivers. So we kind of did it backwards here. Sorry, I didn't see this.
Do we make a motion to
Rescind the,
rescind
The last motion.
the vote, previous vote,
You can do that.
and then just go step forward?
Yes. Yeah. This is a Form A is what I guess I was off by that, so.
What are the waivers?
So the waivers are, looks like the scale. This is 1 inch equals 100, and the request is 1 inch equals 40 feet. So it's just a higher view. And then the second is topography. And it's supposed to be 2 feet, and this is 10 feet.
I don't have a problem with either one.
No, neither of them are a problem. We waive them all the time, but we really need to waive those before we approve the lot, so. So I guess, yeah, we can go back and, I don't know, is that the right thing to do, Don? Rescind it, or can we approve these waivers now?
You could either revote it, you could retract your vote and revote it again. It was the cleanest way to do
I'll
it.
make a motion just to retract the previous vote, and then we'll just move forward from there.
Okay, so we have a motion to retract the previous vote because we failed to vote on waivers for Plan Book and Page 89121, Tax Map 232, Parcel 22.2, for 37 and 38 Roberts Road for Mark Capignon.
second the motion.
And we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, so we've officially rescinded the original vote, not because we didn't want to make the vote, but because we failed to approve 2 waivers, one for topography, and it's supposed to be intervals of 2 feet, and this is intervals of 10 feet. And then the second waiver is for the scale of the map, and this, the standard is 40 feet, or the required is 40 feet, and this is 100 feet. So I'm looking for a motion to waive, to approve those 2 waivers.
I motion that we read them or just as those.
Yeah, please.
I'd like to make a motion for the waivers. Do I bring down the from the legend, the sizes of the legend?
No, you can just say for the topography and for
Okay,
the scale.
For the topography and the scale on the drawing for the property located at 37 Roberts Road,
38.
38 Roberts Road,
Mhm.
owned by Mark Capione.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for right now. Deed book 51373-372. Plan book and page 891-21. Dudley tax map 232, parcel 22.2.
Okay, we have a motion now, a motion for the waivers for 37 and 38 Roberts Road.
I'll second that motion.
And we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unanimous? Now we're looking for a motion to approve the plan of land.
I'll make a motion to approve the plan of land, again located at 3738 Roberts Road, owned by Mark Capione. Deed book and page 51373-372, plan book and page 891-21, Dudley tax map 232, parcel number 22.2.
Perfect. Okay, we have a motion
A second?
and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unanimous, okay. So we need to sign that, and we need to sign 2 of these.
There's the Mylar, correct?
The Mylar in.
Sorry.
Anywhere?
Oh, no, no.
So, right?
Different marker.
Oops.
You sign both forms.
Hey, Rick.
Thank you. Oh, that's not a Mylar.
You want both of these signed on? You have 2 Form As here.
2 application forms, right?
Yeah, you want both of them signed?
Please, be filed one with the office, one with the clerk.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the Mylar, that's okay. Yeah, let me pull this out. Make things a little easier. Sorry. What's that?
It's hard to see those sometimes where they line up.
Then you can just sign that one.
Yeah, just gotta sign this.
I think I need a bigger desk.
Oh, boy, this is.
It's a small one, actually.
How do you want to do
Yeah, you
this?
can leave it there. Yeah, you gotta sign now.
There it goes.
should have two of those.
We don't-
There were quite a few of these.
All right, we just need two, I think. You're all set, Rick. You didn't even have to do anything.
You have to call me.
Yeah, that happens.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Does Sean need to sign this one?
Just one signature on the back here, yours?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I think, did you sign that? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, while we're finishing these signatures up, let's move on, and we have planner's plate. What's on the plate, Don?
It's on G.
Pancakes?
Pancakes. There you go.
Should be a two and the Mylar. You already have the Mylar?
Mylar's gone.
Okay, so I'm just going to read for the pleasure of the viewing audience, the activities of the planner. Major activities, August 25th through September 13th, continuing to familiarize himself with the office files and filing system, electronic files applicable to the office and office procedures. Also prepared correspondence, et cetera, resulting from the August 24th meeting. Posted a change of date notice for the meeting, date change from September 14th to September 13th, which is tonight. Prepared for and set up the September 13th meeting of the planning board. Spent substantial time with the owner of the property referenced on the agenda, Tobin Farm Estates, Stebbins Drive, relative to the modification of the plan that would allow alternate access provisions for 2 lots. Discussion scheduled for September 13th meeting, which we just discussed. Also spoke with town council relative to the plan. And we do have some follow-up on that, so look forward to the reply on that. Prepared the final draft of the warrant article for the amendment to the zoning bylaws at the October 24th, 2016 Fall Town Meeting relative to 3 uses in the light industrial 43 and light industrial 87 districts as discussed at the August 15th Planning Board meeting. Filed the article with the Board of Selectmen and the town clerk.
Wrong date, sorry, that's the wrong date, that's August 24th.
August 24th, Planning Board. With the Board of Selectmen and Town Clerk, and prepared a hearing notice for the articles that are running in the Webster Times on September 9th and September 16th. The hearing is scheduled for September 28th Planning Board meeting. Also, an A&R plan applicant for a property on which back taxes were owed was flagged, the taxes were paid, and the plan was formally received in the office on September 13th. Continued to work and research to set up a system whereby surety, bond amounts, and escrow accounts can be more clearly tracked so that we have a system readily available and will provide information on completing subdivisions and site plans. When do you anticipate that being finished, Don?
I want to do that before the next meeting. I hope I can do it before the next
All
meeting.
right, good.
That includes the schedule for finishing roadways, too. What I'm going to try to do is to work with our consulting engineer, what he knows, what he can provide, and I'll try to get in touch with the applicants. There are only 4 active subdivisions. Some of them aren't very active at all.
Yeah. I think it's typical for most small towns. Attended a workshop on September 8th relative to proposed changes to the FY 2017 CDBG program for economic development interests. What is CDBG?
Community Development Block Grant.
Research work completed to date and on potential future projects under the Green Communities Program. Worked on a public planning document request for the town administrator. Wow, and we've got quite an agenda for tomorrow through the 28th of September.
Yes.
Prepare correspondence, et cetera, resulting from the 13th meeting. Prepare for the September 28th meeting. Continue to work on sureties and escrow account applicable to and completion and updates to ongoing projects. Intended to have reports for the September 28th meeting. Will possibly reach out to Graves Engineering. Had I read further, I would have the answer to my question. Planning to attend the CMRPC Regional Economic Development Committee meeting on the evenings of Wednesday, September 24th, and to attend the Dudley Economic Development Committee on Thursday, September 15th. Presently exploring options and availability of state programs that will assist in the development of a vision of economic development and an economic development program, which is great. That's what we liked about you, Don.
We're going to begin somewhere.
Upon notice from the town clerk of approval by the Attorney General of zoning articles approved at Springtown meeting, incorporate these amendments into the zoning bylaws. Work on economic development, including the Village District and Stevens Mill project, and the potential for a peer-to-peer grant or other program for financial assistance in developing a visioning project for economic development and or economic development program.
That particular grant fund is not being administered the same way it was in previous years. I'm not sure where they're going with that, but that's one reason I went to the CDBG program
Okay,
workshop.
good.
We'll follow it.
I also heard that the Stevens Mill project, something happened to that?
I don't know.
Have you heard,
I
Marcia?
heard it might be coming back.
Not
Have you
a
heard
word.
anything otherwise?
No, I heard that it was scratched.
I heard rumors, that's all I,
Did you?
yeah.
Oh, maybe that's
So,
what it was
I
then.
don't know any fact on it.
Okay. All right.
Keep an eye on it.
Yeah, please, keep us updated if you can. As requested by the town administrator, we'll research the procedure and provide a flow chart for the process for accepting built town roads, i.e. construction completed as approved by the planning board as public ways. As requested by the town administrator's office, we'll continue work on the ongoing Green Communities project for which the town has been awarded funding, tentatively planning to meet with town administrator and the highway superintendent on this matter. And finally, continuing to work on formatting the subdivision regulations for posting to the town's website and on updates to the regulations as directed by the board.
I went through the regulations. I took a look through and made some notations in my copy of it, some things that maybe need to be corrected, any different typos to maybe things that have changed in statute.
Okay? Have you,
Hopefully I have that by November.
good, some good projects. Have you been getting paid?
This time I have,
Good.
yeah,
That's usually how it's supposed to work, right?
yeah.
That'd be nice.
All right. I know last time you had some
Yeah.
questions about it, so I just want to make sure. We want to keep you
First
happy.
week I didn't turn in my timesheets. I didn't know I had to, so.
Oh, is that why?
I missed the first week, but I got,
Well, I hope they caught up with you.
they caught up with me.
All right.
Did you
Good.
get interest?
Well, it's his fault.
Bigger tax hit.
Okay, also, well, it's probably goes under new old business or wherever we are, but while we're on this subject. So comments from the planning board, I guess, I wanted to see if anyone had anyone in mind for, we're still missing one body, right?
Yes.
So if anyone has any ideas about anybody
I've actually
joining the board?
approached a couple of people, so.
Okay.
One has said yes, but has yet to send a letter of intent yet.
Okay. All right, sounds good. Anyone
Well,
else?
it's kind of, it's, according to town council, the replacement of the alternate that we have, guys, for strictly special permits. There's really no provision in the subdivision control law that allows you to appoint an alternate member to the planning board for all other chapter 41 activities, in other words. Chapter 40A, the zoning act, has a provision for appointing an alternate for special permit action. But there's no provision for an alternate for any other action of the planning board. We pretty much have to operate, I think we pretty much have to operate with 4 members.
Right, but, why, we can have an alternate and 5 seats, can't we? No.
Not a full
So,
alternate.
oh, right. So, okay, so we're full then.
So we don't need anybody else?
Not much you can do unless Tom Holt would have turned his,
Yeah.
Unless what?
unless Tom Holt would have resigned from the board.
Oh, okay.
I understand it from town council.
Yeah.
There's no other provision.
No, and
in
we
the
don't want that to
control law.
happen. Okay. Okay, all right, so good, well, then we're full. It's just, I don't know, I thought, no, yeah, correct, because Tom would be the 5th, and the only way someone can come in and have full voting rights is if they actually took Tom's seat, not as an alternate.
Right.
Okay. How about hours? It looks like you've been spending some time here. So, are you staying within your time window? Yeah?
Yeah,
You comfortable with that? With the amount of time that,
it's all right.
okay? How's your commute?
Usually it's
Okay.
pretty good.
Good.
It's back roads,
Yeah?
it's relaxing.
Up the Douglas
Douglas Pike.
Pike. Yeah,
Don't
there you
fall
go.
asleep.
Don't very often find a car at all.
Just watch out for the deer.
Has 5 cars for most.
Good. Good. Well, I personally, I'm pleased with certainly the progress that you've made. You listened to the things that we had interest in you getting involved in without having to ask you. You've followed through on them. So the interview process wasn't just lip service, which is great, which we knew it wouldn't be. But anyway, I'm just kidding. But I'm happy with that. The one thing, Dawn, that I would appreciate as a chairman is just giving us a brief summary on, anything, and it's not as much for us as it is for the audience. Just kind of like, it would have been great to just do a 30-second summary about this Stebbins Drive thing. Just
Sure.
walk through it real quick. This is what it started out as. This is what's transpired, and this is why they're here tonight.
Actually, I'd like to do that.
Yeah.
If you would like that, I would like to do it.
Okay. Yeah. So as we approach each of these agenda items, if it's something that needs some explanation, I'm going to look to you and suggest that, and that way you can give us a summary. And then we're not here as much as you are, and I know you're not here all that often either, but we're not here as much as you are, and so it helps some of us as well. Just, I missed a meeting last month, but I watched it,
Okay.
that sort of thing, but sometimes you don't get a chance to, so it'd be great for that. And then any time where, there's a lot of things that 10 times more than we know. So any recommendations you can make along the way, we won't take it as, you're suggesting that this is the way the vote should go. It'd be very, very helpful, certainly to me, for you to say, hey, I looked at this drawing, there's there are no glaring errors, or here's my concern with this drawing, this is the thing that you guys should focus on. That way we can take this huge plan and just focus in on one area or, whatever. You've looked at the lot lines, you've looked at the frontages, you've looked at the topography, you've looked at all that stuff. And we know that someone has studied it, and we'll still look at that, but know that we don't have to dig deep and say, is this right, is that right? Because you've already looked at it. That would be very helpful to me. So,
Okay.
all right? Anyone else?
I just have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been I'm looking through the history, so to speak, of what's been going on in the past year or two. The finished construction of subdivisions. There are only 4 active subdivisions in town, is that correct?
It's probably right. Which, do you recall which ones they are?
Pierpont, Tobin Farm.
You have Lyons Estates.
Lyons Estates. How long has that been out there?
That one's been out there for
Been a
4 or
long time.
5 years.
Looks like there's been a base coat over there for quite a long time without the final paper.
Oh, is there? I didn't know that.
I'll try to get a hold of the developer of that project. And all the others too, for that matter. See
Okay.
what their plans are for finishing up, where they stand with the bonds and so forth.
I do have one question.
Yeah, so I don't know if those 4 are the only ones, or if there are more. I mean,
No,
you
you-
would have record of them.
Really only about 4 that are active.
Yeah.
And I know that there are a lot of roads out there that have been completed but have never been accepted. And I was talking to the town administrator about that too as well, and we would like to see that all the roads that are finished do get accepted, because, with Chapter 90 money, the state, under Chapter 90, the general laws, it allocates money to towns for roadway improvements based on how many miles of roadway they have. So if we have some roadways that are finished, not accepted as public ways, then we'll lose money.
Do you have any
Really?
idea how many there are out there?
I don't know if I have any idea how many exactly, but.
And that,
The procedures on that too, I've put that in the report.
and that cost, or that revenue outweighs the cost of maintaining?
I think we're maintaining them anyway.
Not if they're not public roads or have been accepted at town meeting. Or not. And if they've been accepted at town meeting, then we should be getting that revenue you speak of.
I'll look into it anyway.
Okay.
There's probably some that are out there that are ready to be accepted. They should be.
Yeah, we usually let the, owner of it, usually that's one of the first things they do once it's done, is they want to rid themselves of that.
One thing too, those escrow accounts, I'm not sure that there are some that, when they're finished, they should probably get their escrow account fund. Check into that too.
Okay.
Several accounts out there that may not be for finished projects. If projects are finished, according to statute, I think they should get their money back.
Okay. John?
The town clerk approached me last, when was it? I believe it was Thursday, day of the elections. There was a question on the West Dudley Solar, with Mr. Lyons, an appeal on that.
Waiting to
Was-
hear from the town administrator more on that. I think that the open meeting law situation corrected that and took care of it, but I'm waiting for more information on that from the town administrator.
it was just,
To be sure that's all set.
it was, if you
I've already
recall,
inquired it, but
if you recall, Mr. Lyons wasn't notified originally. He came back in front of us again, though. They were all set, ready to go, but they can't move forward unless we have true notification of what transpired and what happened with that appeal and whatever. So
working on that one too, if we get the right information.
I should have brought that up earlier, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So I thought that it was determined that his name was on that abutters list and he was notified, but for some reason he didn't receive the mail. Maybe we should ask Pam about that.
Wasn't me.
So, wasn't that the case?
I believe that's what, we approved everything. Everything was, you know, we went through our motions of having to come back and do whatever we did, but there's no writing stating that. So it went
Yeah.
through town council and it went through legal system, so I believe we still need that paperwork. And I believe you were already in touch with town council along with the town clerk, correct?
Yeah, the town administrator too.
Okay, and the town administrator, okay.
So, part of site plan reviews are that abutters get notified of a public hearing or whatever it was, which
Especially a special
we certainly had. Right. And the first thing that the planner usually does, and was that Nancy?
Yes.
That was Nancy. And she was really good with that, is she had all the little green tags, or she'd ask them for them, hey, do you have all of your return receipts from the letters that were sent out? And, yep, here they are, and they have them, and so that's what I understood. Now, if we were all abutters to a solar farm and a site plan review, and I didn't go to the post office to get them, you're not gonna have that green stub there.
But you'd
And-
get the letter back.
Okay.
You would have had all the receipts if somebody didn't pick it up.
They hold them
You
for
would have
10
had
days,
the letter.
I believe.
Yeah,
They hold
and
them
then
for
they
10
send it
days,
back.
and they send it back.
So,
So that should be on
yeah,
file
so
somewhere.
I would think that Mr. Lyons either letter that said he didn't come and pick it up, or the letter that,
The card.
yeah, whatever it was. So it would be the letter with the card on it that
Yep,
didn't have the
whole thing
receipt
would
torn
just
off.
come right back to the town hall.
Okay. So that would be the proof right there. And obviously, if not, then I guess he's got a valid case if for some reason he was overlooked. But that's probably a good place to start digging. Okay.
Okay.
What else?
I'm fine.
All right. No audience to comment, so we're entertaining motions to adjourn.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
We got a motion and a second.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Have a good night.
You too.